Hi guys, and thanks for stopping by my channel. I'm Andy Robinson, and today we'll be taking another look at one of Tamiya's DT02 chassis. This is the Tamiya Sand Viper, which is kit 58374, released 12th of July 2006. Now, I bought this buggy back in 2013 from Model Zone in Manchester. It was an ex-shop display vehicle for £35, missing a few parts such as pinion gear, wing, odd screws and things. But I bought it because I like the look of it. I wanted another Tamiya modern two-wheel drive buggy to mess around with. So I bought it, threw some radio gear in it, and off we went. And then I learnt about the DT challenge, or DT02 challenge, which was being organised by Lee Davis, and this was going to be at Surrey Enhance Radio Control Car Club, and for 2013. In fact, it ran there up all the way into 2017. And but I wanted to run in that because it looked good. I'd not done any sort of club racing really at all. I wanted to race on tracks properly rather than just running up and down a street. And this was an all like same make class, so it was ideal. I said the only time I'd done track racing was at my high school club years ago, so it seemed a good idea. So I decided to enter this into the modified class. There was stock and modified. The stock class was holiday buggies and Sand Rovers. Kit stock, apart from oil shocks and bearings and sport tuned or torque tuned motors. Modified vehicles could have any commercially available hop up for the DT02, but you had to run Tamiya wheels on it, or the Tamiya wheels from the DT02 kits. So I made the event in 2014. In 2013 I didn't make it due to clashing with another hobby of mine, Land Rovers, early Land Rovers. I was at the Series 1 National Rally at that same time in 2013, but they made it in 2014, 2015 and 2017, which is the last year the event was run, sadly. In 2016 I planned to go, but I was having major surgery in hospital, so unfortunately I didn't make that one. Okay, anyway, so this is my Sand Viper that I've raced at the DT02 Challenge events. Very special buggy to me. It got me back into track racing, so that's why it's quite special to me, really. I've done a lot of upgrades to it. It's better than the Tamiya DT02MS spec, which was Tamiya's high spec kit option of this DT02 chassis. The MS release was 27th of October 2007, kit 49475. Now that, if you find one of them in new inbox, they can go for silly money. I don't know, £300+ I think now. Getting expensive because you can't buy them any longer. But it's all like done in a TRF racing livery. You could do it in. Got all the optional goodies like CVJs, ball diff, bearings. I think it had rear alloy hubs. Had low friction suspension shafts. Had the alloy Tamiya dampers. So it was a good spec. It had the dark impact wheels, which are wider off the four-wheel drive buggy, so it had them on, but obviously in white. So yeah, it was a cool looking buggy. But over the 7 years I've had this buggy, I've constantly upgraded and tweaked it. I say it's more of a light runner these days. My other Sand Viper gets more abuse as a race buggy. I like to keep this one looking good. And again, now and again it gets entered in concourse competitions as well. I say, what I've done to this though is a bit overkill. You don't need to do the level of things I've done to this buggy to get a good driving DT02. Originally this was started out as the tuned spec kit. So you got without bearings, adjustable top links, and lightweight gear shafts and oil-filled shocks with that one. So it was a pretty good spec for about £120, £140, which is roughly what the kit would have cost when it came out. I think did I mention as well, can't remember if he did now, the kit number for the Sand Viper is 58374. Okay, so we'll take the body off and we'll give this buggy a little bit of a closer look for you. Okay, you have to apologise, or I apologise for the low production values with this. I've just got a phone on a tripod, essentially, my iPhone. So yeah, anyway, we'll take a close look at this buggy now for you. Okay, so lots of blue alloy shiny bits on there. Okay, so I'm going to work through the vehicle front to back and I'll tell you what I've done to it. If I remember as well, I'll put my spec list for this buggy in the comments so you can see exactly what I've done to it. Okay, so here we go. We'll start with the front of the buggy. Okie dokie, so right. So it's got 3 racing front alloy C-hubs and steering knuckles, stub axles on it. And it's got low friction suspension shafts in there to act as kingpins, makes the steering a bit more smoother. Okay, as you can see, the buggy's got TRF201 aeration dampers and the TRF alloy spring retainers on there as well. Okay, now this vehicle also has got the front wishbone flip, which is a modification that some of the racers do to this vehicle. I got this tip off the RC Racer. You can check out his modifying tips for the DT02 on the RC Racer website. They also do one for the DT03 as well, which I think was written by Lee Davies, who organised the DT Challenge. So you can check that out on there. So anyway, the front wishbone flip is a way of extending the wheelbase on the DT02, and that's meant to sort of aid with like better traction and more stability, better high-speed cornering. Maybe helps with the jumping as well. But what you've got to do is when you do this modification, you've got to make sure that the angle of the shocks hasn't changed if you start to compromise all the geometry on it because you've changed the way the wishbones are. And you've got to make sure that the turnbuckles don't rub on the suspension on the shocks when you press it down. Luckily mine doesn't. So yeah, make sure nothing touches, make sure all the movement is nice and free. And the only other way you can extend the wheelbase on this is if you bought some of the rear alloy hub carriers, the adjustable ones, and Square RC did these. But again, they are like rocking horse poo. But that way you could, if you bought them, you could alter the wheelbase without having to flip the front wishbones. So maybe that was a better method of doing it. But either way, I personally won't change this back to how it would have been stock because it's the way the buggy is, it's the way I like the buggy. Maybe I'll do it on a future buggy, I don't know. Anyway, let's go through the rest of the car. So, it's got the 3 racing sort of top deck, or the bulkhead stiffener plate there. Again, that's a hard part to find now from 3 racing. Most of the 3 racing parts you can't buy. It's got the alloy battery retainer. Again, it took me years to find one of them. Probably spent a bit too much money than I should have. Inside there, high torque servo saver, which you can't see, and the Tamiya DT02 alloy servo posts. It's got titanium turnbuckle steering links. It has got a Carson aerial mount on there. It's got the front and rear carbon tower extenders. You can see it there and there, which the front ones incidentally Tamiya have stopped doing. It's got double braces on the shock tower to hopefully strengthen it up. There's a weak point on the vehicle. I've got 2 on, it's a bit overkill again. You just need the one really. 3 Racing did do a carbon one that you could put on if you didn't have the extenders, and that was one of the best mods you could do to the DT02. Anyway, we'll walk around to the back of the vehicle and you can see what else we've done to it. Okay, this has got a GPM alloy rear wing mount. I just bought it for the bling really, just to go with the car as I like it. It's got a TRF201 rear wing, and touring car TRF wing buttons to help, you know, save the wing a bit if it rolls over. You can see the back aeration dampers as well. Let's see, spin the vehicle round a bit. I say it's got a ball diff on this one as well. It's got the bearings fitted throughout. It's got the lightweight gear shafts, which would have come with a tuned kit anyway. If you can see them, it's got the 3 racing rear alloy hub carriers and 3 racing CVJ drive shafts, and also it's got the hardened, toughened out drives as well, or cup joints, whatever you want to call them. So it's got them as well. Now the motor, as I said, if you're racing in modified class, you could either run 10.5 brushless with a blinky mode on the ESC, so you couldn't use any extra boost or punch or anything like that. Or you could run a 19 turn spec brush motor. Now this one, you can't see it too well, but it's a 19 single, I think, and it's the Checkpoint Money motor, which when these were brought out was one of the best, or the best 19 turn spec motor you could buy. Very torquey, great motor, absolutely love this. This one I actually got off a chap who raced at the DT02 challenges. Got it off him last year, called Malcolm Dougal, and he found a new one in pack and he was selling it. I had to have it. So cheers for that, Malcolm. So yeah, so Ace motor if you can find one. I've got a few of these now, but that one's pretty much only done a couple of light runs since I've put it in. So yeah, it's also, as I say, it's got the black equivalent of the DF03 wide wheels, which you found on the, I'd say, the DF3 4-wheel drive buggy, but a lot of racers put the wider wheels on the back of the DT02. Aids in rear traction again. Again, I've probably got alloy hex hubs, alloy wheel nuts. A lot of it's bling as well for this. I say it is overkill, but I say sometimes enter this in concourse events now as well. I say it's a light use buggy. I'll run it again if we ever get anything similar to the DT02 challenge. Who knows what will happen in the future. I say very ace buggy this to me, very special buggy. It'll never be sold. And I hope you have enjoyed the vid. If you like it, subscribe, give us a like, and I'll be doing some more videos very soon on some more RC cars from Tamiya and whatever else I might have in my collection, we'll see. But thank you very much for stopping by and joining us. I appreciate it very much. Take care.